Okay, here we go. We're moving right into the next thing. And hopefully I can leave lots of time for questions on this one. Believe it or not, one of the biggest issues of contention in this entire school is uniforms. And I don't mean like people are upset that we have uniforms, but it's confusing. You want your kid to be in what they're supposed to be wearing, and you want your kid to be comfortable, and all the pieces have to fit together, and it gets very confusing sometimes. So, as you all know, thanks to some communication over the summer, we have made an effort to make an emphasis on our uniform code. For those of you who have read our uniform code in the past, you will notice that there are little to no changes to our uniform code. The big change is that we are making an effort to enforce the uniform code. And we understand that that is a failure on our part for several years where people didn't understand what the uniform code was or what it said. And so we are making an effort to make sure that everybody understands what the expectation is, and that we have some accountability tools so that those uniforms are able to be worn and kids are able to be comfortable. If I could just point to this document here, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the reason we have a uniform code is because the board determines that we have to have a uniform code. They tell us we have to have a uniform code, and here are the guidelines they've given us. We have to maintain a standardized dress code. And what they tell us is not anything really like extraneous. It needs to be age appropriate and seasonally correct. And so then it comes down to the administrative level and a uniform committee to create what that code is. And there are guidelines in the parent-student handbook that help us determine what that code's going to be. And so ultimately what we want is we want uniforms to emphasize and increase our ability to have this education that we've been telling you. This is the whole point of uniforms. And if you look down at the very bottom under philosophy, we're de-emphasizing the use of clothing as a significant means of establishing self-identity or gaining attention. We're allowing students to focus on their studies instead of their clothing. We're adding to the disciplined environment in the classroom. We're minimizing economic differences, improving school community spirit, reducing the stress of morning student preparations at home, trying to make students easily identifiable to themselves and to each other. Ultimately, what we want is we want to emphasize modesty and usefulness and function in clothing that is comfortable and affordable and easy. That's the goal. We've had lots of positive feedback from the uniform code. I can't tell you how many parents come up to me and say, my mornings are so easy because of uniforms. My kid knows what they have to put on, they put it on, we go to class. It's terrific. I had students tell me that they wear their uniform all day when they get home, and their parents are like, would you take the uniform off so you don't get something on it for dinner? And hold on, what's my other note here? Sometimes it's not what we hear from parents, but it's what we don't hear from parents. So we're not hearing from parents, my kid's getting teased because they don't have the right shoes, and my kid's getting teased because their shirt looks different than somebody else's shirt, or so those are all positive things. Now, we understand that there are some negative things with uniforms too, right? We know there are some kids who don't prefer uniforms, and they don't think that they're comfortable. And we recognize that there is some give and take here, and we are doing our best to make the best decisions we can to make this work. Some of the things that we noted that have pushed this new system that we're implementing. Number one, an inconsistent adherence to brands. Our uniform code, we try to keep it as simple as possible with as few brands as possible. And we were seeing a lot of variance in parents going, I don't have time to order that. I'm just going to run to Walmart and grab a pair of khaki pants and put them on my kid and call it good. Which seems like, who cares? What's the big deal? But the big deal is that if everybody does that, then everybody has a different color pants on. And then we start losing some of those things we were trying to avoid. Well, they don't have to wear those pants. They get to wear the Walmart pants. Why can't my mom go get me the Walmart pant? And now we're causing this problem that we're trying to avoid in the first place. So while brand adherence may seem like it's a small thing, I promise you it's purposeful, and we're trying to avoid some of these issues. Another thing that we saw consistently last year was not paying attention to some of our accessories requests. We don't allow light up boots. We don't allow earrings that are longer than 12 millimeters. So any girls that are wearing earrings that are dangly or longer than 12 millimeters, we consider those a safety hazard. If they're at recess, all of our kids get recess every single day. So if they are playing and somebody grabs an earring, that's a safety concern for us. And so we've asked for only studs or earrings that are less than 12 millimeters. This is the big one, and this is, I think, from what I'm understanding, this is maybe the hardest part. The one thing that we did change in the uniform code was the Logic and Rhetoric School PE code. And here's why. For those of you, again, who read the Logic and Rhetoric School PE code, it specifically stated that you could wear basketball-style shorts in navy blue and a plain gray t-shirt or a Trinity Spirit Wear t-shirt. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that less than 50% of our students were in that uniform all last year. Probably less than 25% of our students were in that uniform all last year. We are not going to ask our teachers, male or female, to go and police the length of shorts on teenage boys and girls. And so that is why we moved to a universal short that is a unisex short. I understand. I have 2 teenagers. I made them try on their shorts, and let me tell you how they felt about them. Oh, these don't fit the greatest. But the point is to be uniform in these PE uniforms. And because in giving that flexibility, our students weren't able to conform to it, we decided to go with just a blanket uniform that is ordered from French Toast. Now, that said, this is our first year trying this. It may not work. That's okay. Guys, we, just like Julie was saying, Mrs. Bean was saying earlier, we welcome feedback. This is not hard and fast. The system we were using before wasn't working. We're going to try a new system. We're going to try ordering parts and pieces from French Toast for that upper school PE uniform. And if we find that it is a real challenge and that our students are really struggling and not able to function and thrive in the classes that we're asking them to be in, we are open to changing this, guys. Absolutely 100% open to changing this. Please give us the feedback that we need to have. And that brings me to my next point. We absolutely want you to give us feedback. And in rolling this out, many of you have pointed out there are some inconsistencies in our code. One person pointed out, and I'm going to make this announcement, Mrs. Wright is working on changing the code, that we have an inconsistency in embroidery on our sweaters. Grammar school, it is optional, and logic school, it is optional. Okay, good point. Guess what? Now it's optional for everybody, because we want this to be as simple as possible. If you would like to embroider your sweaters, embroider your sweaters. If you don't want to embroider your sweaters, you have to. Okay? What's another one? One of our sources for pants, an alternate source for pants, Sam Harris, wasn't showing up on the Rhetoric Boys chart. It's there now. You can go to Sam Harris for pants for boys. Thank you for the person who pointed that out. The thing that we want everybody to realize is that we make this as simple as possible, and we try to make those charts as clear as possible. But if you have questions about those charts, I know that there was a question about whether there's a formal uniform or a standard uniform. The word now is standard. Our standard uniform is what is in those boxes at the top of the page for the uniform code, and that needs to be worn on standard uniform days. Those are first day of school, picture days, chapel days. Am I missing any? Grandparents' Day? Is that a standard?
It's going to fall in chapel this year.
Okay.
But that's a community.
That's the standard uniform. That's for grammar school. That's that red shirt instead of the light. Is light blue even an option anymore? Yes, so that's the red shirt instead of the light blue shirt. There are certain colors of socks. They need to be in their chapel shoes, their dress shoes on standard day. Those days we let them wear their tennis shoes all day long. But on those standard days, we ask them to be in their chapel shoes. And their teachers have the discretion to let them change during the day at different times. How do you contact us? If you have an issue, you email one of us. You can email Mrs. McDonald. You can email Mrs. Wright. There she is in the back. You can email Mrs. Spangler, or you can email me. We are happy to take it. We are in constant communication with regard to this, and we will fix things quickly. I promise, we will try really hard to fix things quickly. If you have a suggestion for something, hey, listen, I really think it would work better if you guys tried this for PE uniforms. Great, we will bring it to committee, and we will consider what you're offering, and we will try to make the very best decision. Just a note, Facebook families, the families page, to have conversations about uniforms on there, totally fine. I love that you guys are answering questions for each other. But if you are having a conversation on there, could somebody please make a note of saying, who's going to communicate this to leadership? And send that email, because we don't always see what's going on the Facebook families page, and we don't want there to be problems that we're unaware of. So if you're part of one of those round robins where we're saying, oh, this is an issue for me, can somebody contact the office, or I'll be the one to contact the office and let them know. Please just make sure that happens so that we're not dropping the ball on anything. We want to make sure that we're attentive to them. Okay, Mrs. McDonald's going to talk about OOPS tickets, and then I promise we'll take questions.
Yeah, so keep your question, Mrs. Dixon. Okay, so on the back of your paper, you have an example of what we're going to do with this enforcement system. And so I want to talk about that a little bit. The word enforcement might make you think like, but this is not about punishment or chastisement. The issue is that if we have a code, the onus is on us to enforce it. And so us not enforcing it is not right. So that's what we're trying to remedy here. We are going to start by making this a part of our morning attendance. So we have, Mrs. Wright has helped us to create a place in our fax attendance where homeroom teachers can make a note first thing in the morning if they have a student that is not wearing the appropriate uniform, or if there's something, there's I can't remember exactly, it's like compliant or non-compliant, but then there's a place where we can make notes as well. The big thing to know is this first month of school is a grace period. There will be no tickets this first month of school. It's all going to be oral communication, dialogue between parents or between teachers and parents, teachers and students directly. Students will be allowed 3 warnings in the form of tickets per quarter for dress code violations, and then you're like, okay, well then what happens? Are we going to get in big trouble? It's just going to be communication. Okay, so after that 3rd time, that's going to be where a teacher's going to reach out to a parent and say, hey, we've continued to have this issue and we need to figure out how can we help you to make sure that this is remedied. The tickets will go home for you to sign. That way you're aware that it has been issued. We will be running reports at the end of the quarter so that we can see what that looks like. And then instead of there being like some kind of punishment or something, instead we are going to award house points for students who have followed the code. So you'll notice on there it says that students with 1 or 2, it's supposed to say 1 or 2 tickets per quarter will earn 5 points for their house, and with no tickets they earn 10 points for their house. And again, 3 or more, there's just going to be that communication to try and figure out the best way for us to work together. If your student, especially at the beginning of the year, we know that a lot of times there's issues with receiving certain things by mail, if you've ordered from French Toast or you're waiting for something to get embroidered. So if there's a communication and your student says, oh, my teacher mentioned that I don't have XYZ, or I should have worn this instead of this. If there's a specific reason, just let us know. There's definitely grace for that. That's not a big deal. To reiterate what Claire said, we have been working on this for months, and there have been all kinds of conversations trying to make this better and yet be clear and make things easy, and again, to be enforceable. If we're going to have a policy, we need to be able to enforce it. So I think, are we ready for questions?
I'm ready. Yes, ma'am.
Maybe 2 questions.
Yes.
You had mentioned embroidery on sweaters.
Yes.
Optional. Just sweaters, or does that include the shirts?
Just sweaters is optional. Polos, so those grammar school polos would still require embroidery.
Second one, nails.
Yes.
Is that, I don't remember what it says in the handbook. Are the kids allowed to have nail polish?
Okay, that's a good question, and honestly, I don't remember.
I can't remember how it was worded, but
I feel like we talked about several options with this, and now I'm not remembering
It's
what.
under cleanliness, and I don't think so, how I read it.
I have it right here.
Is a handbook.
entirely?
I believe so, yes. And I think the reason, we actually talked about trying to determine if we could say, okay, well, light shades of pink or something like that. And then we got into the whole, well, who's going to determine whether the shade is okay?
Holding a paint chip up to their
Right.
fingers to make sure it's within a certain shade and.
And we have had some students, I've had students even in fourth grade wear artificial nails, which again, you run into a little bit of a safety risk if those get snagged or caught. I mean, yes, longer nails, that could happen as well, but you're still running into an issue there.
So I think the answer is no, but we can double check that and get back to you.
She has it right here. It just says, cleanliness, the proper cleanliness and personal hygiene of second uniforms should be clean while maintaining. Hands and fingernails should be free from artificial color, ink, or dirt.
Other questions?
Yes,
Oh,
What color socks are allowed?
Good question. So that was another question that was brought forward. For the standard uniform, for boys, I'm gonna have Morgan pull it up here.
okay, so for boys, black, brown, or navy. For girls, we have crew or knee socks or leggings in white.
That's the standard.
That's standard.
Now, what is available on non-standard days, girls can have white, gray, or navy, and boys may have white. Right, we're gonna make sure that the language is clear on that, this is grammar school.
Right, right.
What's our rhetoric, logic, and rhetoric?
Well, she's got a. She's a where's the student? I think it's basically that they can have navy and logic.
So logic school, we've got white stockings with navy leggings. So that stockings is any form of sock or tight that your child is wearing on that day. Oh, we've got crew or knee socks, tights, or leggings full length. So there's an entire stockings line on that chart.
Yes.
For girls, for
Right.
boys, black, brown, or navy. And then I think rhetoric is the.
Yeah, I think it's the same. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain the hair on the dress code enforcement ticket? Are bows okay? Are bows?
So if you
red
look,
or blue?
is it on the first page, right? This one. Or no, did we not have those?
I don't think that one's on there or not.
I'm not sure. Hairstyle should be neat and clean, appropriate to a school setting, not drawing undue personal attention or disrupting the learning environment. Unnatural hair colors or hairstyles deemed by the administrator to be distracting from the learning process or Christian witness are not permitted. And boys' hair must be short enough to be kept off the shirt collar and the eyebrows. And young men should be clean shaven.
So bows are okay. Headbands are. I mean, we're not gonna want something light up.
There is an
Dangling.
accessory, there is an accessory area there that talks about no light up, but I don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
Well, we actually removed the accessory part from the front of the uniform requirement note.
There's an accessory box on that lease ticket is what I was talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Yes, yeah, so like if you had a light up accessory, that would be, sorry, you can't wear that.
Right.
I think jewelry too would fall under accessories, so if you have earrings that are too big or dangly earrings, that would go under that box. Yes, ma'am.
Lady red sweaters have been out of stock since early last year.
Of the Land's End ones,
No, I'm pretty sure.
Question. That was my question.
that's your question? I wanted to say there was a Land's End cardigan, is there not a Land's End cardigan on there?
It's not on there. I went ahead and ordered one, and I found one that's almost an exact match in color. So I didn't know if we could add that in there, but it's the red color.
In red from French toast. Okay, thank you for that. Let me just confirm, we just need to confirm that we have used that Land's End one in the past, and I would assume that that would be our option, because we absolutely want them to have the appropriate layers. And so if red is not available at French toast, I think Land's End would be our next step. I need to get that verified by Mrs. Spangler before I give you the absolute go-ahead, but that's gonna be.
I think I have ours in the car.
What's that?
I think I have ours in the car.
You got that yes from her already?
No, she's got it.
I ordered it.
Oh.
I think I have it in the car if you want.
Okay.
to see it.
We'll communicate that as soon as we have a definite yes. Good question.
Mr. Stinnett, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, forgive me, when the email went out about the uniform, I did not click on the attachments on there. Is that chart on part of those attachments?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And just as a teacher, I think I want to post that so that I always have it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're encouraging that the students have it available to them so that they can take ownership.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yes, ma'am.
The extra uniforms in the parent lounge, who are those available to?
They're available to anybody. We try to keep them monitored to make sure they're within code. I can't guarantee that every single piece in there is within code. If you have a question, you may feel free to ask Mrs. Wright or ask any of us if it's in code. Yes, they are available for free to any parents that would like to take advantage of that.
And they're very well sorted. When
And
I
they have
read
recent
our
dress
dress,
on
they're
it.
sorted.
Yeah.
Somebody did a lot of
They are
work
well
sorting.
sorted. Somebody did a good, I think Mrs. Wright. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mrs. Wright. Other questions? Or concerns? Yes, ma'am.
The leggings, and I might have missed it, I've already said that.
Yes.
Are they considered for when it's cold? Will they be allowed for standard days, or do they need to have tights?
So it says crew or knee socks or leggings.
You just have to be in white
Yeah.
for the standard day.
White leggings?
No. Yeah. Again, just trying to make it standard.
Yep.
I understand white leggings may not be the easiest to come by, but.
Yeah.
And again, that's just on the standard day. That is 10 chapel days a year
Right,
and picture day.
and navy's okay, yeah.
Yes.
Right. And I will make a note, as a teacher, she mentioned like, we have the discretion of saying, okay, you can change out of your chapel shoes after chapel and put on your tennis shoes. I've had young ladies go to the bathroom and take off their leggings too, if it happens to be a warmer day or whatever, and put socks on instead. So that's something to keep in mind. Yes.
What you say they wear tights?
Yes, tights are an option.
Where's that at in the, is it regular handbook?
Yeah, I couldn't find
Crew or
it.
knee socks, I guess it doesn't say tights. It says crew or knee socks or leggings.
I think it should say.
I think it should say tights, yes. Because we have tights on the logic school.
So it's the actual, and this is one of the things that's difficult. What we're reading from here, this uniform requirements is not in the handbook, the full thing. So this, I don't know, do we have
It's linked
copies
on
of this? It is linked on fax, and I don't know if we had copies of this available today. It was also sent via email, but if you registered after, you may not have gotten that yet.
Do we have printed copies of that, Mrs. Wright?
No? Okay.
Okay. We'll try to get some printed before the end of the day. Yeah. Should I see another hand over here?
Really, sorry, so standard, they can have white leggings or white knee socks.
Correct.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Correct. Or crew socks on standard day, yes, or tights, yes.
Taking off white ones.
Right, yeah.
They will.
Anything else? Yes.
I remember in our team meeting, we were discussing leggings, that flared legs are considered yoga pants and therefore not allowed.
Right. Yeah, we're not talking about like workout style legging pants, you know, that have the flare leg, like a yoga pant. We're talking about the more tights looking fitted.
Simple, unadorned.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Sorry. The skirts have shorts in them. Would those go on like over top of the shorts, or do they go
The leggings?
under the shorts? Yeah.
So leggings first and then the skirts.
Okay, thank you. I mean,
Skirt shorts. Yeah.
obviously they go under the skirt.
Sorry, yes. I mean, if your skirt doesn't have the built-in shorts,
Right.
you do not need to wear biker shorts on top of the
Okay.
leggings. You could just wear the leggings under the skirt. Yeah.
Did you mention, or was it written more about other jewelry besides earrings? You touched on earrings, but bracelets or necklace? Or what is the perimeter?
So the uniform requirements don't have a lot of that information, but in the handbook, we do talk about the things that are allowed. For example, no smartwatches are allowed. Medical ID bracelets, of course, are allowed. Necklaces and watches permitted as long as they are not a distraction. And that's where it says girls can wear small hair bows, clips, headbands, or ponytail holders that are tasteful.
Do not light up.
Right, and do not light up.
No bracelets
Right,
for anybody.
right.
Necklaces and watches are acceptable, not smartwatches. No ring, I mean,
Are rings mentioned?
they're not mentioned.
One thing that was brought up at our team meeting the other day too was belts. Belts are part of the standard uniform, but when we're talking preschoolers and kindergartners, we recognize that may be an issue because they're still needing to get to the bathroom and take care of things quickly. So something to just keep in mind and communicate with your teacher. I think it says black or brown if I'm wrong. Yeah, black or brown.
Yes.
Do their hair need to be tucked in? I don't know if the girls did or not. Just double check.
Third grade.
Yeah, usually we try to encourage, it says on the thing from third grade on up, we try to encourage them to keep their shirts tucked in.
Sorry, so girls too, girls and boys.
Girls and boys, yep. Yep. Yes.
What is the standard for shoe wear? You know, a lot of kids wear tennis shoes, but sometimes the boys like to wear their little cowboy boots. And is there a standard for shoe wear?
Yes, so in the grammar school, let's get that language, they need to have, their standard uniform is a dress shoe. So for girls, that's a Mary Jane, and for boys, it's a slip-on or laced dress shoe. Other than that, they may wear
Sorry, I think it talks about.
clean, well-fitting athletic shoes, casual athletic shoes that are non-distracting and appropriate for school. No sandals, boots, light-up shoes, or heels. That's in the grammar school. We do allow ankle boots in the logic and rhetoric school for girls and boots for the boys as long as they are underpants and don't have any embellishments on them. No chains on their boots, no spurs off the back, just plain boots are fine.
And this is not, that part, it's not a change. That's always been there. It's just not something new. Yeah.
So those sandals and logic rhetoric schools and no-go.
Correct. See, the most questions in uniforms. Yes, ma'am.
What do you recommend for littles, you know, like, so that we're keeping a change of clothes for spills and things? Does that need to adhere to that? Should we purchase an additional or find an additional to keep in their bag? Like if we're changing midday,
Sure. I don't know that that's in the dress code. Would you have a recommendation for that?
Well, I would say that the standard uniform's only required a few times a year. So if your extra set is not standard, I would say that that's okay. Does that answer your question?
well, I mean, the teacher's gonna know, they're gonna be involved in.
Right, exactly.
the changing
Yes,
of
yeah. So that's
paint or potty or.
right.
We have things come up in the middle of the day already, and we just kind of help them find something in the parent lounge.
That's
auto
often the
substitute.
solution, yeah.
Yeah.
is the
But that would be
parent
allowed and not hated.
Right,
Of course.
absolutely.
Of course, yes.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's one of the blessings of having that room stocked, is that if there's an emergency, if something happens, then if somebody forgets her blazer at home, like 3 days a week, Elizabeth Dixon's not listening to me right now, so my joke is being lost. Your daughter Anna loves to forget her blazer at home.
Oh. Amy hooks up.
What?
So, we've had split zippers, we've had
Yeah,
glue, we've had
all kinds of
scissor issues, yeah.
Yeah, we had butter. Did I see another question over here?
Well, I was just gonna comment, for the grammar school parents, like I have a preschool, pre-K this year, and I went and just grabbed an extra set of clothes for their accident, you know, in case there were other accidents or spills. From
Just put it in the
parent lounge.
backpack?
And I just put it in a Ziploc bag and it's in his backpack, ready to go. So that's a great way to, you know, you don't have to spend more money getting
Right.
an extra set, but it can be available. There's a lot stocked in there.
Again, we welcome feedback and questions, things that come up further down the road that you're not thinking of right now.
Or are more delicate, and you want to discuss them privately, we're available. We understand too, let me just say really quickly, that there will be outliers to this code. There are body types that French toast cannot supply. We get that, and we will make exceptions. And so all you need to do is be in communication with the office and say, I can't get this that fits my child from French toast. Okay, we'll find a solution.
No problem.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys.